Hi, friends. For many years, I have been supporting my health naturally. And today, I'll be sharing my top tips, my recipes, and protocols to support your liver, your pancreas, and your blood sugar. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this class. Hello, friends. This is Elisa Bonet, and I am so excited you have tuned in to learn about this very important topic, different ways that you can support your blood sugar naturally. I am a certified essential oil educator. I am a wellness advocate, and I coach on natural wellness and lifestyle options. And the reason I brought this topic to you today is because I have been struggling with blood sugar issues since 2004. And through a lot of trial and error, I learned to eat low carb, which managed my blood sugar to a certain extent. However, I later came to learn about essential oils and other supplementation that could also be a part of my diet that gave me that entire support. And today I want to share those tips with you. I want to share how I've managed my blood sugar naturally for the past 6 to 10 years. And it's been quite a journey. A lot of information is going to be packed into this class. So get ready to take some notes, take some screenshots, and I really hope that this class will provide value and give you some alternatives to the modern approach that can often have some side effects. And we'll go into that as well. But before we get started, I do want to make this very clear that I am not a doctor and I'm not here to diagnose or treat or cure or prevent any disease. You always want to work with your physician or healthcare practitioner, consult with them before starting a new protocol. Now, a word of caution, if you are taking blood sugar medication and you combine that with low carb meals and you combine that with some essential oils and other supplementation, it can be a little too much and your blood sugar can get too low. So that's why it's super important you work with your doctor and that you take your glucose levels regularly if you decide to try some of these natural approaches with your doctor's authorization. And I'm going to be discussing and focusing my attention on type 2 blood sugar dysregulation during this class. So let's get started. Now, there are different things or different approaches we can take when it comes to blood sugar dysregulation. We can do nothing, and that can really impact the quality of our life, and it can even put our life at risk. And here you can notice that there are quite a variety of dangerous effects that can come from not taking care of this blood sugar dysregulation. Everything from kidney disease to strokes, heart attacks, vision loss or blindness, a weakened immune system, erectile dysfunction, nerve damage or neuropathy, poor circulation to legs and feet, slow wound healing, and so much more. So we don't want to be in this category. We don't want to sit back and do nothing. Our other option is to take some synthetic options, which are very popular. And you also want to be aware of some of the side effects, which is making that informed decision. So with some synthetic options, there is extensive drug interaction. So you have to make sure that you tell your doctor about all the different medications you're taking, because there can be a lot of interaction with blood sugar regulation medication. And you also have those side effects, right? Like nausea, diarrhea, cramping, difficulty with urination, coughing, hoarseness, lower back and side pain, and a lot of other side effects. Plus, it can also be expensive. Now, I did some research and found that there are a couple of studies and articles that have brought out some warnings that we want to be aware of. In May 2020, the FDA recommended that some makers of a common blood sugar regulator that I do not want to disclose at this time. You can do the research and find it, but for compliance reasons, I have to be very respectful about not mentioning any drug names. They recommended they remove these tablets from the US market because there was an unacceptable level of a probable carcinogen, and that was a warning, and that is something that has been taking place in the last couple of years. Now, there was another research article that came about where they found that individuals with blood sugar dysregulation, when they were on a long-term treatment of certain medications, they found that it reduced their cognitive ability. So there was a decline, and it could lead to some dementia. So again, other things that you want to consider when taking synthetic options. Just do your homework, assess the risk, and determine if it's a good fit for you. Now, today, the class is giving you a third option, the option I decided to take, and the option that has served me very well over the past several years. And because it has helped me so much, I couldn't keep it to myself, and I wanted to share it with you so that you can see if this is an alternative that might work for you. So let's get started and learn a little bit about plant medicine. Now, if you have not taken an introduction to essential oils class, if you haven't taken the basic 101 or essentials oils made simple class, then I'm going to do a very brief overview that'll take just a couple of minutes to give you a foundation on which to build on, because the rest of the class will be talking about a lot about essential oils. So I want to make sure that you have at least some of the basics. Now, there's three really cool things about essential oils. The brand we use, or that I use, is doTERRA. And the reason is because they truly are the purest and the most potent that I have found. Now, essential oils are plant extracts, and they have health benefits. So there's nothing added, nothing taken away, and they're safe for any age with proper dilution and certain precautions that need to be taken. But from babies to adults to senior citizens, everyone can use essential oils if it's done safely and properly. And the type I use has been certified pure tested grade, which makes them beyond organic. And they've been certified also by a neutral third-party independent lab. The second cool thing is that these oils are very, very effective. They can permeate the cell membrane, and they work at a cellular level. And so you don't have to worry that the threat's going to build up a resistance to the oils. Plus, they're getting to the root cause. And this is super, super important. They're not just superficially covering up the symptoms. They're actually working at the cellular level. The third cool thing is that they are very, very affordable. They're so concentrated that just a few drops is all you need for a dose. And each drop is cents per drop, depending on the oil. So it's pennies per dose, and you can save so much on medical costs. I know I have. I don't have to fill a prescription every month. I very rarely go to the doctor. I just get my labs and I go for my annual. But other than that, I'm able to address almost 80% of the issues that come up for me naturally at home, having a wellness cabinet at my disposal. And I save so much time and energy instead of running back and forth to appointments and dealing with traffic and sitting in a waiting room. I have everything at my fingertips when I need it. Now let's learn about the three ways that we can use essential oils. And the first one is aromatically. We just use the bottle and put it under our nose, and we take a couple of deep breaths. Or let me grab a bottle. You can put a drop or two on the palm of your hands, rub your hands together, and then you take some deep breaths. So this is aromatic use, or you can also use a diffuser. I don't know if you could see mine. It's right back there. The aromatic use is so powerful because it can positively affect your mood, and it also supports your limbic system. And the limbic system controls your blood pressure regulation, a lot of your autonomic functions. So, blood pressure, breathing rate, even your hormones, your mood, your memories. It's incredible how powerful your olfactory system is. And if you're using a diffuser, you could also cleanse and purify the air and support your respiratory system. So, aromatic use is the first way that we use essential oils. The second way is topically. So, this is for localized benefits. You can apply it to the soles of your feet, to your pulse points, to the spine, to different reflex points on your body. And we love to dilute ours because remember, they're concentrated. So we dilute them with fractionated coconut oil for best results, or you can use any carrier oil of your choice. Now, the third way we use them, and I'm talking specifically only about doTERRA essential oils because I know they're pure. I know they don't have any additives or any synthetic ingredients. There's no contaminants. So I know that if I use my oils internally, that they are 100% pure and natural. And not all of them are internal. There's a good majority that are, but there are some that are not. So you can connect with the person that shared this class with you, or if you have more questions, we can connect. I'll have a link in the description as to how we can connect, and I can share more on which are and which are not safe for internal use. But when using oils internally, you can put them in water. You can put them in a vegetable capsule. You can put them under your tongue, on the roof of your mouth, or you can cook with them, put them in a smoothie or in a tea. And there's just a variety of ways to use the oils internally. Some of them already come in pre-made soft gels, so very easy to use. Now, I'd like to encourage you to take a screenshot of this image because this outlines the top oils that I use to support my blood sugar, my pancreas, and my liver. Now, everyone responds differently to oils. Everyone has a unique biochemistry. And so I like to offer a lot of different options. And sometimes we have some oils and not others. And so from this list, you can pick and choose and make some substitutions, as I'll be using a majority of these oils in the recipes I'll be sharing in just a little bit. Let's go into my protocol. This is a sample of my protocol. And I'm going to be honest, for people looking in, and if this is all new to you, it might seem like a lot. It might seem even overwhelming, but trust me, it's not. The most important thing is to get started. And just like anything, time we embark in a brand new journey, anytime we have to start a new something, learn a new thing, there's always a learning curve. It takes a little time, it takes patience, it takes persistence, but boy, is it worth it. So my sample is very detailed, and if you want to take some screenshots, you're more than welcome to check that out. Now, what works for me may not necessarily work for you because every body is different. And so some oils that work ideally for me may not be the best choice for you. That's why I showed you so many different options. And there are more oils that support blood glucose levels and liver and kidneys. And I think I just shared about 14 or 15 of them. So there are still yet a lot more options. But those are the top ones that I use. And I'm hoping that my protocol will give you an idea of how to transition into a more empowered state of being, where you are taking the reins of your health, where you are taking control as to what you put in your body, and you're making the decision as to how to implement the steps that are going to get you to being healthier. And I hope that this helps you. Now, I have a baseline wellness, and the baseline includes nutrition. As I mentioned when I first started the class, I used to eat very low carb. And when I ate very low carb, I just wasn't getting the variety of foods I needed. I wasn't getting enough nutrition to balance out those levels that are recommended. And so I had those nutritional gaps, and supplementation is so, so important. And I take the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and I do 2 a day. So you have your omegas, which support your blood glucose. I'm going to share that study in just a moment. Eyes, brain, joints, cardiovascular system. So the study regarding the omega, I thought was so interesting. It's a 2021 study from the Journal of Gut Microbes, and they found that when you take 500 milligrams of omega-3, it's comparable to 20 grams of pure inulin prebiotic fiber. And in just a moment, I'm going to share another study regarding the fiber, and then we can make the connection between the omega and the fiber. But XE Omega, doTERRA's XE Omega has 600 milligrams of omega-3. The study recommended 500, but this has 600, and you also get 250 of omega-6 plus 60 of omega-9s. Now, we also have in this trio the Microplex VMZ, which is your whole food bioavailable supplement, and it has the ideal quantities of vitamins and minerals that your body needs. And so this supplement's taken twice a day. You want to break up those nutrients whenever possible so your body has a better chance to absorb what it needs during the day. The third bottle is going to be the Alpha CRX, and this is your antioxidant, your anti-inflammatory, as well as energy support. I also take an enzyme, and I take between 1 and 3 capsules with each meal. And this one is important because it helps with your digestion, as well as breaking down the foods you eat, or if you have food sensitivities, this is very, very helpful. So it's going to help you break down as well as assimilate the foods that you're eating. The next thing I take is a probiotic. And the PB Assist Plus is a prebiotic as well as a probiotic. And so this helps with your digestion as well as with your mood and your immune system. I also take Mito 2 Max. I take 1 to 2 capsules, 1 to 2 times a day, depending on how I'm feeling. And this supports your energy production for the mitochondria. And it also supports your adrenal function. Having blood sugar dysregulation can be very taxing on the body and on your adrenals. So you want to support the body with the nutrients it needs to produce the energy to keep you going and keeping all that cellular function on point. DDR Prime, I use the oil and I use the capsule. In this example here, I'm using a capsule. You can take one once or twice a day, ideally twice, but it helps your cellular integrity. It also protects your cells and your body from oxidative stress, and it just promotes overall cellular function. I also use the doTERRA fiber, and I put a little star next to it because we're going to be going into fiber in just a moment and the importance of that. I use the greens to boost my daily nutrition. I also use the protein. If I need a snack or I need a meal replacement, then I'll use the doTERRA protein. And this one also is high in fiber, plus citrus oils throughout the day. So that looks like a lot, but really it isn't. It's my vitamins, an enzyme, a probiotic, something to help with my energy, and something to protect my cell function. All the others are like for a smoothie or additions in case I need that extra support, but I wanted to mention them. And the citrus, we drink water throughout the day. Just every time you drink water, add a couple of drops of citrus oils. So let's go into the fiber before we move on to the other parts of my protocol. There was a study in the Journal of Science that shared that increasing fiber, they did a study from the standard that most people take, which isn't enough, is about 16 grams, probably less. And they upped it to 37 grams. And they found that the people that were in the study using the 37 gram per day fiber intake really had a drastic improvement in their glucose levels and in the reduction of their A1C. And I just thought that was so impressive. So if you want to learn more about this study, just look it up, and it's in the Journal of Science. Now, what they found that was so interesting, the reason it worked so well is because as the fiber increased, this also increased 15 different strains of bacteria in the gut. And these specific strains of bacteria correlated with short chain fatty acids. And these short chain fatty acids directly impact glucose metabolism. So the way it works is that these short chain fatty acids feed these hormones. They're called PYY and GLP-1. These two hormones instruct your muscles to soak up excess glucose from the blood. So everything is connected. So you have more fiber. The fiber increases the bacteria. The bacteria instructs the fatty acids to produce more hormones that tell your muscles to have more intake of excess blood sugar. So it's this chain of events that occurs just from increasing your fiber. So the other thing they found is that protein also increases these hormones that soak up the excess sugar. So one tip is to have your protein first and then have your fiber. That tends to give you better results. Plus, fiber may help your cardiovascular system, your immune system, your metabolic function, as well as your digestive function. So let's continue with our protocol, my protocol, and this is stress and mood support. So stress is super, super important. There's another study that I found on PubMed that shared the importance of especially individuals with blood sugar dysregulation to be calm, to be chill, and not to overstress. And the reason is that in people with blood sugar issues, we can't metabolize those stress hormones as well as a normal person. They can be abnormal in our bodies. And so it impacts us more drastically than it would an average person. And we know that when we're stressed, that spikes our cortisol, it can spike our adrenaline. And these hormones, if you have them in your blood for a sustained period of time, they're very, very damaging. So stress reduction is very important. I use Adaptive, which is an incredible blend in a soft gel, and it is accompanied by an essential oil. I use a soft gel every day, and you can take it twice a day depending on your stress levels. I usually just take it once a day, and I use the essential oil twice a day. I also take 3 drops copaiba and 2 drops of frankincense sublingually 2 to 3 times a day. This helps with anxious feelings and it helps with sad feelings. And I am prone to having that mood dysregulation, so I have to be on top of my protocols so that I can keep all those neurotransmitters happy. I also use balance on the bottom of my feet and the back of my neck in the morning and at night. Now, we're going to go into a lot more lifestyle in just a moment, but a quick little snapshot is changing our lifestyle is very important, and it's going to have a huge impact on your overall wellness. You want to just start your day calm and take 10 or 15 minutes at the start of your day just for you. You can do some stretches. You can read an inspired book or listen to an educational podcast for a few minutes. You can do some deep breathing or write in your gratitude journal, listen to some soundscapes, anything that's just going to gradually wake you up and get you ready to face your day. Also, during the day, taking time out to do some deep breathing, do some guided imagery, take some daily walks, and just slow down. The faster you go as you run around trying to multitask, the more upset your nervous system gets and the more anxiety and stress builds. So take everything down, slow it all down, and that's going to be very supportive for your nervous system. Just that one simple thing. Learning to say no and just letting go. And I know that's hard because we want to do it all, but we're not superhuman. And when we have blood sugar issues, we have to be extra careful to support ourselves. Also getting organized and just having more of a work-life balance, having a schedule and realistically figuring out what we can and cannot do in 24 hours. Because I think overall, we just try to do a little bit too much. I know I do. So I'm working on that too. Now let's focus on blood sugar support. I talked about my baseline wellness and my supplements. I talked a little bit about lifestyle. Now let's talk about what I do to help support my blood sugar. Now I use a pancreatic roller ball, and I'm going to be sharing these recipes in just a moment. Something to support my pancreas, something to support my liver, and then something to support my blood sugar. Plus, I use Slim and Sassy internally, as I mentioned earlier. And if I need additional support, I make veggie capsules or shot glasses with oils, and I'll share those with you as well. And I occasionally do the Zendocrine. I'll do 1 or 2 drops a day for about a month, and then I'll take a month off, and then I'll just do it again. And this again helps your filtering organs. Now, a pro tip for the blood sugar capsules that I'm going to be sharing, I love creating a dropper that has sufficient for at least 1 to 2 weeks. So the recipes I'm going to share with you in just a moment, you can do them individually, or you can prepare enough of that recipe so that you can just have a dropper. And then in a pinch, as soon as you notice that you need extra support, I have mine where I have my water and my lemon and my lime oils, and it's in a little dropper, and I'll just, get my dropper and put it in a little shot glass or make a veggie capsule. So let's expand a little bit more on lifestyle tips and what that means, because lifestyle is, again, very important to support our overall health, our mood, our stress levels. And part of lifestyle is incorporating some of these healthy habits. One thing I learned several years ago is that apple cider vinegar is very supportive of regulating your blood sugar. And so I use it about twice a day, 1 to 2 tablespoons of organic apple cider vinegar in 14 to 16 ounces of water in the morning and at night, especially at night if you tend to wake up with higher blood sugar levels. Also, I follow a healthy keto diet, so I would recommend either that or another low-carb diet, but I focus a lot on grass-fed meat, organic ingredients, clean food, 7 to 10 cups of veggies a day, high kale for liver support. I follow Dr. Eric Berg and Thomas DeLauer on YouTube. This is not an affiliate anything. I just really like them. They're super well informed and give so many great recipes and tips. So check them out so you can learn how to get started. I also do intermittent fasting 4 to 5 times a week. Try to sleep 7 to 9 hours, manage stress. One of the favorite things that I use to manage my stress is an app called Calm. And they have meditation and deep breathing and stories and soundscapes, and I absolutely love it. So maybe check them out. They have a free version. I walk every day, so I try to get 10,000 steps a day and just get some movement going. And you want to drink at least half of your body weight in water every single day, and add 1 or 2 drops of your favorite citrus oil to each glass, and learn to say no. When we say no to others, we say yes to our health. And so always remember that. Now, let's get started with our internal blood glucose regulators. And this is the dropper I mentioned earlier. I like to make the dropper just to make it easier, or you can make your veggie cap or your little shot glass on the spot when you need it. So I have 2 different options for you. As I mentioned, we all have different body chemistry, and we all need different options depending on what's going on in our body specifically. So option 1 includes basil or coriander, lemon, lemon sassy, and oregano. A note with oregano that it can be hard on your liver if you take it more than 10 days in a row, because of a constituent called thymol. So just be aware of this. You can take it for about 10 days, but then you want to alternate that and just swap it out with fennel or ginger or juniper berry, and that'll complete your recipe. Option 2 is coriander, juniper berry, cinnamon or cassia, and then grapefruit. Let's move on to our topical glucose regulators. So this is making a roller ball. A roller ball is essentially like the image shows. It's a glass, usually 10 milliliter bottle that has a roller top. And we add the essential oils, and then we fill the rest of the bottle up with a carrier oil. We typically use fractionated coconut oil. And here we have 3 different recipes, so you can make 3 different roller balls. And again, try them all and see which one works best for you. And so this one you would apply to the arches of your feet and to your abdomen every morning. And here we have 2 recipes that are very important. This is a topical roller ball, one for your pancreas and another for your liver. So just like I described with the earlier glucose regulator roller ball, you would make this one for your pancreas with clove, frankincense, vetiver, cypress, and basil, and apply over your pancreas or the bottom of your left foot twice a day. You want to try to focus in the arch of the foot because that's where your pancreatic reflex point is. For the liver recipe, you would use geranium, helichrysum, grapefruit, clove, and rosemary. And you would focus on the liver reflex point, as you can see from the image, or do it over your liver directly. Now, I want to share an experience with you, and my results may not be typical, but I was excited to document my experience and then share it with you, because not only because I experience these positive effects, I don't want to just talk about it, but I want to show you. I want to show you the changes that occur when I follow my protocol. And remember, it's not just about the oils. It's about eating low carb. It's about exercising and daily movement. It's about stress management. It's about supplementation. It's about a lot of different things and bringing it all together. So it's not just oils. Remember, it's a whole protocol of wellness. So this is an experience I had a couple of weeks ago. So I woke up and my blood sugar was a little bit higher than normal because the night prior I cheated. I'm human. I have to admit it. I had a regular bun, right? I had a cheeseburger. And I normally have a low carb bun, low carb gluten-free bun. And they didn't have low carb bun. I just said, just this once, I'm going to have a regular bun. And I was also going through a very stressful time. And the next morning, it caught up to me. And those were my numbers. So for some of you, maybe that's not too bad, but for me, I'm usually pretty low and it was bad for me. I was like, yikes. So that was at 10:26 a.m. Immediately, I took 2 Slim and Sassy soft gels, which is equivalent to 10 drops. If you don't have the soft gels, you can use 10 drops of the essential oil. And by 12:11 p.m., I had dropped to 134. So there was a 41-point drop. Now, for me, that was still a little bit higher than I wanted. So I decided to take a shot. This could have been in a veggie capsule. So this is one of the 2 recipes I shared with you. 1 grapefruit, 2 coriander, 2 juniper berry, 2 drops cinnamon in 2 ounces of water. Plus, I applied my liver and my pancreas roller balls. 1:25 p.m., I dropped 20 points. So in 3 hours, I had dropped 61 points. And just to check, an hour later, I decided to check it one more time, and I was down an additional 15 points. So in 4 hours' time, I dropped 76 points. And I wanted to share this with you because obviously what I'm doing is working. And again, it's everything. It's lifestyle, it's diet, it's supplements, it's oils, it's everything. So just wanted to share that with you so you can get an idea as to what's possible when you do things naturally. Now, let's go over what a typical day might look like. And again, please don't get overwhelmed. I want you to take it slow and just break it down, because in the beginning, if you decide you want to try this, it does take a lot of regulation to see how you react to the food, see how you react to the supplements, see how you react to the essential oils. So you have to be checking your blood sugar regularly. And I've included this in the next sample of how to get started. So step number 1 is to get organized. You want to have the oils you need, your roller balls, oil, fractionated coconut oil, your supplements, a vitamin organizer, so important, a journal or a planner to write down your glucose because you want to keep a log, plus definitely need a glucometer. Now, you will be checking your blood about 5 times a day for the first week or 2. The second part is meal planning. You want to get familiar with whatever plan you're going to follow, but it should be a low carb plan like healthy keto, which is high in veggies, high in healthy fats, medium in protein, and low in carb. Also, meal prepping is so essential because when you're learning to eat a new way, you don't want to be so hungry and tired that you just say, okay, forget it. I don't have anything ready and I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to eat whatever I want. So meal prep and stocking up on all the things you can eat is very critical, like having your veggies pre-cut and washed, preparing a snack tray of safe snacks you can have, cooking in batches, and then freezing the meals. These are things that I do. Learn how to make substitutions for all of your favorite meals and treats. So I love ice cream. I'm a big ice cream fan. And of course, I had to learn how to make low carb ice cream. I also like muffins. So I had to learn how to make low carb muffins. And there is a low carb and safe alternative for almost anything out there that you like. It's just a matter of learning how to prepare it. Also, track your net carbs. That's what really impacts your blood sugar. So what you do is you take your total carbs, subtract your fiber, and that's going to give you your net carbs, and you can use a tracker for that. Plus, you want to commit mentally and emotionally about changing your eating habits, your lifestyle choices. You want to set goals and milestones, and then treat yourself, reward yourself when you meet that milestone. Share your plan with your family and get their support, get them involved, have them help you with meal prep and cooking, and just make it fun. Avoid temptations and eating out until you have a good handle on your low carb plan and your new wellness protocol. So let's look at a typical day for me. I'll wake up and take my blood glucose levels. I'll log it in my planner. And then I take a probiotic. I apply my roller ball on my abdomen. I'll put some balance on my feet before I put my socks and shoes on. I'll have a cup of tea, organic decaf with some cinnamon. And I also will make sure I take my copaiba and my frankincense sublingually. I normally have breakfast about 11 or 12, and that's going to be approximately 8 to 10 carbs. Right after breakfast, I'll take my vitamins, enzymes, DDR Prime, Mito 2 Max, my Slim and Sassy, and my Adaptive. And I'll drink about 16 ounces of water with organic apple cider vinegar plus some citrus oils. Now, a pro tip, as I mentioned earlier, is to have a pill box organizer for a whole week with AM and PM slots, and you can easily access all of your supplements and put it in a visible location on your dining room table, on your kitchen table, wherever you're going to see it. And it will make your life so much easier. About 90 minutes after breakfast, I take my glucose levels again and I log it in my planner. And if I'm over 140, then I will apply my liver and pancreas roller balls. And then I'll either take a Slim and Sassy or I'll take a veggie capsule or a shot of one of my recipes that I shared earlier. So 90 minutes later, I will take my glucose levels again. And then ideally, I want to be between 100 and 120. If I'm still outside of this range, then I'll go for a quick walk. And this is something you can do, or if you have a recumbent bike or a treadmill, you can do that instead, or take a few extra drops of Slim and Sassy. Then I'll have dinner about 5:30, 6 o'clock. That's usually another 10 to 15 net carbs. And again, that's when I take my second dosage of my supplements and my apple cider vinegar. And taking your glucose levels this frequently is only going to be in the beginning. I mean, normally you should probably take it at least 2 to 3 times a day, just so you can see how different things are impacting you, whether you're taking synthetics or not, until you get a feel for how everything is working and responding with your body. So 90 minutes after dinner, I'll take my blood sugar again. And then if I'm still a little bit high, I'll apply my roller balls once more and I'll take another shot, or I'll take a Slim and Sassy. Right before bed, I check my glucose levels again, and then we'll apply the roller balls, or I'll take a veggie cap. I try to avoid the Slim and Sassy before bed because it tends to give me energy. Some people mention it helps them sleep, so I don't know. It depends on your body, but for me, I can't take it after about 6 p.m. I'll add the balance to my feet, as well as take some copaiba and frankincense. And that is my protocol. I hope that you found this helpful, that the tips, the recipes, and the suggestions I offered are going to support your health as well. Now, before I conclude, I want to share something really exciting with you that's coming this fall. And it's going to be around the pillars of metabolic health. And balancing our metabolism and all of its functions is so difficult. And part of the pillars that keep our metabolism functioning at its peak condition are healthy eating and stress management and daily movement and smart supplementation, things that I touched on today. But when you weigh that against life and all the pressures and commitments and responsibilities we have, it can be very, very difficult to balance that. Now, what does our metabolism do? What does it influence? A lot. Our energy, our weight, our body composition, our sleep, and even our cognitive performance. Well, now we will be able to unlock the door to a balanced metabolic life where we can feel great, look younger from the inside out, plus strengthen and optimize that function and find that missing piece to our overall wellness plan. So get ready, because this is the new system that's going to launch in the fall called MetaPWR. It's going to support not only our metabolism, but also our weight, our energy, our glucose, our cells, our cognitive ability, plus our skin. And we are just so excited to get this in our hands. So in the description below, I will be sharing a couple of links that you can follow to learn more about these products and learn how they're going to be launched and how you can even get early access to them. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you found value in this content. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And click the notification bell so that whenever I upload new content, you'll be the first to know. I look forward to bringing you more content in the near future. And once again, thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.